Suddenly, the water around your ship begins to churn. Massive tentacles, each as thick as a ship's mast, rise from the depths. In moments, your vessel is dragged beneath the waves, never to be seen again. This is the terrifying legend of the Kraken, a sea monster so large it was said to be mistaken for islands. But is there any truth to this maritime myth, or is it merely a tale spun by superstitious sailors? The Kraken has captured human imagination for centuries, appearing in folklore, literature, and popular culture. But where did this legend come from? And could there be any basis in reality? Our story begins in the frigid waters of the North Atlantic and Arctic Oceans. Norse legends speak of a creature called the Kraken, described as a giant, octopus-like beast capable of dragging entire ships to the ocean floor. The name Kraken itself comes from the Old Norse word kraki, meaning an unhealthy animal or something twisted. One of the earliest detailed descriptions of the Kraken comes from the Danish historian Erik Pontoppidan in his Natural History of Norway from 1755. He described the Kraken as a creature the size of a floating island whose real appearance would terrify the human race. Pontoppidan claimed the monster was sometimes mistaken for an island, luring unsuspecting sailors to anchor on its back, only to be dragged to their doom when the creature submerged. But the Kraken wasn't just a Scandinavian phenomenon. Similar creatures appeared in myths around the world. In Greece, there was the sea monster Scylla. In Japan, the Akoroka Mui. Each culture seemed to have its own version of a giant, tentacled sea beast. As fascinating as these stories are, they leave us with a crucial question. What could have inspired such widespread and consistent myths? One possible explanation lies in the real-life giant squid, Architeuthis ducks. These creatures, which can grow up to 43 feet long, were largely unknown to science until relatively recently. The first photographs of a live giant squid in its natural habitat were only taken in 2004, and the first video footage was captured in 2012. For centuries, the only evidence of giant squids came from dead specimens washing ashore or fragments found in the stomachs of sperm whales, their primary predator. It's not hard to imagine how sailors, encountering these mysterious remains, or possibly glimpsing a living specimen, could have let their imaginations run wild. Another candidate for the real-life Kraken is the colossal squid, Mesonychoteuthis hamiltoni, which inhabits the deep waters of the Antarctic. While slightly shorter than the giant squid, the colossal squid is much heavier, with larger swiveling hooks on its tentacles. The largest specimen ever caught weighed an impressive 1,091 pounds. But could these real cephalopods account for stories of island-sized monsters? Probably not. This is where we need to consider the psychology of myth-making. The ocean has always been a source of both fascination and fear for humans. Its vast, unexplored depths hide countless mysteries. In the age of sailing ships, venturing out to sea was a perilous undertaking. Sailors faced very real dangers from storms, uncharted reefs, and hostile ships. In this context, the idea of a massive sea monster might have served as a way to personify the many dangers of the ocean. Moreover, the Kraken myth might have been fueled by optical illusions and misidentifications. In rough seas, floating debris or partially submerged rocks could be mistaken for living creatures. The phenomenon of St. Elmo's fire, an electrical discharge that can make a ship's masts appear to glow, might have added to the supernatural atmosphere. There's also a possibility that some Kraken sightings were actually misidentified whale behaviors. A group of whales feeding at the surface, with their tails and fins breaking the water, could potentially be mistaken for a many-tentacled creature, especially from a distance. As science and exploration advanced, the Kraken began to retreat from the realm of possible reality into the world of legend and literature. It famously appeared in Alfred Tennyson's 1830 poem, The Kraken, and later in Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. In modern popular culture, the Kraken has become a staple of sea-based fantasy, appearing in numerous books, films, and video games. Its image has evolved from a terrifying monster to sometimes being portrayed as a misunderstood creature or even a potential ally to humans. But even as we relegate the Kraken to the world of myth, it's worth remembering that the oceans still hold many secrets. As of 2024, more than 80% of the ocean remains unmapped, unobserved, and unexplored. While it's highly unlikely we'll discover an island-sized cephalopod, the recent discoveries of the giant and colossal squids remind us that remarkable creatures can remain hidden from human eyes for a very long time. From the vampire squid to the giant isopod, reality often proves to be just as fascinating as fiction. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever encountered a legend that turned out to have a basis in scientific fact? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to receive updates on this and other intriguing mysteries. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and remember, sometimes truth is stranger than fiction.